Are we good? You good?
You are good.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and before we start with the pledge, I'm going to introduce somebody that's going to lead us in the pledge today. Lieutenant Colonel Joan Hodowanitz. Joan enlisted in the Army in 1975 as a Morse code interceptor. She was enlisted for 15 months when she received direct commission as second lieutenant in military intelligence, specializing in signals intelligence and electronic warfare. Joan served until December 1998 when she retired as lieutenant colonel. During her time in the Army, she worked in a variety of positions, including a signals intelligence and electronics warfare instructor at Fort, what is that, Huachuca, okay. Arizona, the commander of the Army's Technical Control and Analysis Element at the National Security Agency at Fort Meade, Maryland, and deputy commander of Field Station Sinop in Turkey. Her assignments include a number of locations in the U.S., including Fort Bliss, Texas, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and the Armed Forces Staff College in Norfolk, Virginia. Joan's career also took her around the world, including tours in Germany, Italy, Turkey, Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and with NATO forces. While stationed in Germany as second lieutenant, she attended a dinner where the featured speakers were Major General George Patton, Deputy Commander of the Seventh Corps of son of General Patton of World War II fame, and Manfred Rommel, Lord Mayor of Stuttgart, and the son of Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, General Patton's opposite in North Africa. During her career, Joan was awarded the following medals, but I guess this is not a complete list. Legion of Merit, second award. Defense Meritorious Service Medal, second award. Army Meritorious Medal, fourth award. Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal. Joint Meritorious Award, second award. NATO Medal, Southwest Asia Service Medal with one Bronze Star, Service Star. Overseas Service Ribbon, fourth award. That's pretty amazing, Joan, so thank you for your service.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm assuming everyone had a chance to look over the minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items. Nobody? Okay, motions 26-0001. Motion to appoint chairman of the Board of Commissioners.
Make a motion to appoint Tom Welby as chair of the Board of Commissioners.
I'll second the motion. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. Well, Tom?
We don't like unanimous decisions all the time.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Chairman. I'll switch seats with if you'd like.
We just switch gavels?
You can have it.
Motion 26002, a motion to appoint a vice chairman for the Board of Commissioners. I'll appoint Chris as vice chair.
You make a motion for that? Oh,
Should we make a motion to appoint Chris as vice chair?
well, I'll second it.
On the question?
On the question, good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Again, just like the last reorganization, I want to congratulate the new Republican majority of Lackawanna County. What is occurring here this morning is not a procedural decision, it's a choice of allegiance. In November of last year, the voters of Lackawanna County delivered a Democratic majority, overwhelmingly. Not just here in Lackawanna County, but also across the state of Pennsylvania and across the entire country. They also delivered one in November of 2023 when Commissioner McGloin and I won overwhelmingly over our Republican challengers, Chris Chermak and Diana Campbell. It wasn't a symbolic majority. It wasn't a temporary one. It was a governing majority, entrusted with setting direction, establishing leadership, and reflecting the values that earned their trust. And that mandate is unfortunately being ignored once again today. Chairman Welby, your vote and decision today did not create balance. It will create distortion. You elevate it, or are going to elevate, by nominating Chris Chermak, a Republican, specifically a MAGA Republican, into leadership over your own Democratic partner. That is not independence, it's abdication. This was not about experience. It was not about cooperation. It was not about stability. It was about comfort. Choosing the path that avoids tension with the political cronies who now run this county, rather than the one that honors responsibility. Commissioner Chermak's politics are not a mystery. Him and I could not be further apart. They are not moderate. They are not situational. They are firmly rooted in a MAGA movement that has rejected democratic norms, demeaned public institutions, attacked labor, and turned grievance into governance. That movement did not win a majority here in Lackawanna County. But today, it's going to be rewarded anyways. And it wasn't rewarded by Republicans, it was rewarded by a Democrat, Tom Welby. That's the part that matters. And what makes it even more confusing to me is I explicitly told Mr. Welby I would enthusiastically support him as chairman of this board. I served as chairman for 2 years. Commissioner McGloin, if he was still here, was going to serve the last 2. That's how Democratic majorities work. Usually you don't serve as chairman for all 4 years. You serve 1 year on, 1 year off, or you serve 2 years on, 2 years off. Democratic leadership is not a courtesy title, it's an obligation. When voters hand you a majority, they are not asking you to split the difference with the opposition. They're asking you to lead. You don't honor voters by neutralizing their choice. You don't protect democracy by empowering those who undermine it. And you don't strengthen a party by sidelining one of its own to elevate an ideological adversary. Now, since you're apparently in the business of handing out leadership titles to MAGA Republicans, let's at least be honest about the resume that you're elevating, because the public deserves the truth without perfume on it. Commissioner Chermak has 4 years of experience watching the county collapse from 2020 to 2023. He sat on this board while the county was driven into a $37 million deficit, $19 million in unpaid bills, and operational chaos so severe that the Office of Youth and Family Services lost its state license. Not once did he stop it, not once did he lead, not once did he speak out and demand answers and accountability. That's not experience, that's evidence. And I had to come in here and clean up his mess. He has repeatedly treated public confidence in elections like a political toy. He voted against certifying the 2021 election, coincidentally, the same one where Commissioner Welby became a state representative in a special election, with no evidence of fraud, echoing conspiracy theories and casting doubt on democracy itself. So extreme that even the Scranton Times called it a rejection of reality. And he has amplified the MAGA script and public rhetoric, telling crowds we must make elections too big to rig. Commissioner Chermak played games when democracy required clarity. When it came time to give voters their say in the special election to fill a vacant commissioner seat last summer, he didn't lead, he abstained, calling the process a sham. He fought against giving the people of this county a voice and a vote. That's not stewardship, that's sabotage by shrug. Commissioner Chermak treated the deadly pandemic from 2020 as a punchline. He joked alongside Dr. Oz, another MAGA disciple, about holding your breath during COVID, mocking a crisis that killed neighbors and devastated families. That isn't humor, it's contempt for reality and responsibility. He treated the 2025 budget like a campaign prop. He blatantly lied to the people of this county about a fake budget he put together that was filled with numbers that were wrong. He claimed his budget was balanced by raising taxes 6%. Our CFO confirmed at a public meeting that his budget was disingenuous at best, and he confirmed that the budget was not reality. That's not budgeting, that's political marketing. Commissioner Chermak stood with the same agenda his political allies advance in Washington, an agenda that hits working families first here in Lackawanna County. Congressman Rob Brezhnev, his right-hand man, backed legislation pushed by President Trump that, as reported, will boot thousands of our seniors and children off Medicaid and food assistance here in Lackawanna County. Never once did he speak out against it. I have. So yes, when you elevate a local MAGA commissioner, Chairman Welby, you're not elevating a person, you're elevating an agenda that has real consequences for this county. If this is the model for leadership, then words have no meaning. Those are just a few examples, so let's not pretend that this vote by Commissioner Welby and Chermak was an innocent handshake across the aisle, which I'm sure they'll do in a minute. This was a decision to place a MAGA Republican in a position of authority in a county where voters explicitly chose a Democratic majority to govern, and to do it by stepping over your own Democratic partner to get there. I have served through crises, budget shortfalls, and political headwinds without flinching, because leadership is not about being liked. It's about being accountable. I will continue to govern that way, regardless of titles or favors withheld. But let the record this afternoon show clearly, today's vote did not reflect the will of the electorate. It reflected a failure of nerve on the part of Tom Welby. And here is the truth that will outlast this meeting. You didn't build unity today. You built a bridge for MAGA to walk into leadership over the backs of the voters who sent Democrats here to stop them. Majorities are not lost at the ballot box. They are surrendered by those too timid to use them. And that is why I will be voting no.
Thank you. Another question. I appreciate those comments. I think that kind of shows solidarity here in the county. This county is a mix of Republicans, Democrats, independents, and people that don't even bother to vote. So since I came here 6 years ago, my main concern was to do what was right for the county and for everybody that is part of this county. Some of my first meetings, even before I was a commissioner, was to get a working relationship with our Chamber of Commerce. That's something that I'm proud to say we were able to do in my first administration. Immediately, we were handed a worldwide pandemic, which, with the team we had in place, I think we did a phenomenal job. We hear about, how this county was $19 million in debt. Well, really, it was 10, because the state owed us another 9. But at any rate, with the guidance that we had with our chief of staff and with the attorneys here and with now Judge Frank Ruggiero, I think if there was another group in here, we would have been 100, maybe $200 million in debt. So I think we did a heck of a good job. We got this county through a worldwide pandemic. We helped save people. We had testing sites and vaccination sites, and which I was there helping. I think we did a heck of a job. Moving forward, I think we owe it to the people here in Lackawanna County to work together and do what's right for the people here. Other counties do it. I know lots of commissioners that are a mix of chairman and vice chairman. I have no problem with that. And I thank Commissioner Welby for stepping up. This job is not about politics. It's about doing what's right for this county and doing what's right for everyone that lives in this county. So we're going to work hard. We're going to try to get more businesses coming in here. I see our chamber president is here, and we're going to work together with them, and we want to get more businesses and more tax dollars rolling in here and make it a better place. So I disagree with Commissioner Gaughan's comments, but I appreciate the support, and I look forward to working with everyone here in Lackawanna County.
Just briefly, I just want to address one or 2 points briefly, and I don't have any prepared comments for you, but I do have perhaps some reminders to Mr. Gahan about the campaign that we just finished. And Mr. Gahan, while he goes on about the need to support Democrats publicly and to an extreme, supported the independent candidate and turned his back on the Democratic candidate. Now, all of a sudden, it's he wants the support of the Democrats, which I am, by party registration. But if you also look back to the campaign, and if you all want to go back and look at the commercials that probably still exist on YouTube or wherever, or the Facebook posts, you'll see all through that over and over and over and over again that I was running as a Democrat, as an independent Democrat that was not aligned to either party, that was going to do the job based on what is right for the people. It's not based on party. And I look at the country, the state, and the local politics as it is that he refers to. And it is so poisonous, it is disgusting, the poison that exists in both parties, Republican and Democrat, and I'm just a little tired of it. And I don't want to see in this room, if I were to have my way, the bringing of politics and party into this. I hope at this table up here it won't exist, and I hope that the people that walk through that door and come into this room will leave their party and partisan politics at the door. And we're not Republicans. We're not working for Republicans. We're not working for Democrats. We're working as a democracy, working together. And just as I said all through the campaign, that's what we're going to do. We're going to work together and just do what we think is right. And that is what the people responded to. Yes, it was a rather significant election. Now, the Republican candidate came close. I had a little over 27,000 votes. He had, I believe, around 23,000 or somewhere in that neighborhood. And the candidate that Mr. Gahan supported had about 15,000, almost a 2-to-1 majority of mine over his. The people spoke very loudly. They want an independent commissioner in here. They want someone that's going to work for the people, not the party. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. The party. I'm sorry, not the party, but the people. And please, when you do come in, I know sometimes when up at the podium, one has a tendency to go on and talk about perhaps things like we experienced this past weekend in Venezuela and how that too has divided both parties again. But leave the party and leave the politics at the door. Let's just work as a democracy. Thank you.
Just one final comment, and then I'll let this rest. With all due respect to both of them, they're both full of shit, and that's the bottom line. They are both full of shit, and Commissioner Welby just elevated a MAGA Republican into a leadership role in Lackawanna County, and that's the bottom line. Thank you.
And also, when did I ever say it's too big, or I'm going to create something that's too big to rig?
No, that would be me.
Oh,
That
excuse
was
me.
Commissioner
I
Chairman.
thought
That'd
it
be
was
me.
something else that
I forgot
that was
to wear
said
my-
that wasn't true.
I was going to wear my Make America Great Again hat, but I don't have it with me. But
Well, hopefully we're
Anyway,
going to stay out of
disgrace.
the third grade politics here and move on. On the vote,
yes,
call the roll call, please.
yes.
No.
Yes. Motion to follow Roberts, looking for a motion to follow Robert's Rules of Order for conducting Board of Commissioners meetings.
I'll make
Have
a
a
motion.
motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
A motion to set the meeting days of the Board of Commissioners to be held on the first and third Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room, unless otherwise specified. For a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
On the
On the
question.
question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opportunity for the public to address the board?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Former Commissioner Lorraine Cummings, how are you? I'm loving this. I just think it's great. Congratulations, Commissioner Welby,
Thank you.
on your election. Donnie Frederickson, I'm so sorry to see that you will be leaving. That is such a great loss to this county. And whoever takes your place has big shoes to fill. I'm very upset that you're leaving because we definitely need you. I'm glad that you're going to stay around for the airport, but really sorry to see you go. Thank you so much for all that you did while I was a commissioner, because you were we had our fights, but I won some, you won some, but boy, I will really miss you here. Good luck.
Thank you.
To Commissioner Chermak. So now you get to vote for your 6% in the budget. So I'm happy to see that we'll have the opportunity to reopen the budget again. Only this time, maybe you can lower taxes instead of raising them. So I hope that you do that. Also, reassessment. You had looked forward to doing something about that. I was disappointed that while you sat a chair, you didn't do that in the past meeting. So maybe you guys could do that this time. We don't have a $19 million shortfall anymore. I don't know how much more money that 33% gave us, but I didn't get a budget yet. So I'll be looking at that and look forward to your meeting on Wednesday to find out. Thank you.
Joan Hodawan at Scranton. Well, I don't know about the rest of the taxpayers and residents of Lackawanna County, but I'm hoping that we can rise above childish behavior and focus on finding productive solutions that help everyone out. We've had some bad experiences over the last few years, not the least of which was COVID, which was out of our hands. But, name calling, acrimonious language, we don't have time for that. Put your time and energy in offering constructive solutions. That's what we pay you for. And we don't need to, have to see in the paper and on the TV news every night, oh, here's a clip of this and here's a clip of that. So, that's just my own request. I wish you the best of luck during this new year. But, we're paying you not to squabble, not to make accusations. You could be right, but it doesn't help to come off looking like a third grader. You've got to focus on why you're in those seats and what we're paying you to do. And I know you can get very emotional, and you all feel, that you're right. And in many cases, you are right. But we don't need juvenile behavior for our county commissioners. So the only other thing I've got is I think it's time for some comic relief. So anybody who would like to see a free movie on Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. at the Albright Memorial Library, there will be a free screening of Don Fredrickson's favorite movie, The Trouble with Callie. Please call the library to reserve a seat, if only because we don't know how many chairs to put out. And if you don't reserve a chair, you get to sit on the floor. So we ask you to call. The number is 348-3000. But maybe it'll become a cult classic, as Don is hoping, and maybe we'll get some of our money back on it. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom, and we can laugh at ourselves, and hopefully that's what we'll do. So good luck in the coming year, and remember why you're sitting in those chairs. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Joan, can I get the popcorn concession for the? Can I get the popcorn concession?
Anyone else to address the board? Commissioners, other business?
Who's first? First, I want to thank Donnie again for all your service. I know you're only going to be downstairs, but appreciate all that you've done, you know that. We've become good friends as well. And I want to welcome our new General Counsel, Chris Caputo. So I knew you were crazy, but now you proved it, so you're here, so we'll be good. And then lastly, happy birthday to our favorite reporter, Jeff Horvath, so. Yeah. Okay.
With that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you for being here.